One of the most important aspects of ferreting, something that we all take for granted, is the actual use of a ferret retrieval device, or ferret finders as we know them. And I'm just about to go ferreting, but I always advocated, even when we went back when I started ferreting to the Mark 1, that every ferret I use, or I'm in the company of people, we have a fail-safe method of retrieving the ferret. Now to me, it is using the ferret finder, but to some people they could be using a retrieval box, they may be using shallow earths, and they can hear them and they can get them out. But I always, as I said, advocate using a ferret finder, because you just don't know. And it's taken so many years to get these ferrets breeding right. I just can't see the point of wasting time waiting for a ferret to come out. Well, if you know your ferrets and you know they're on a rabbit and it's not out of the regions of your digging, why not just go and get a spade and dig it out? Yes, of course, there is a odd case where it's in chalk, it's in rock. We may even be getting the digger out again and it is that deep. But I like to count them in. I like to count them back out again. So what we're going to do is just have a little look into how to use the ferret finder. Now, to a lot of people this is teaching you how to suck eggs, but you would be amazed the amount of people that contacted me through my Twitter account, my Facebook account, my website, through the shooting times, through any medium format where I'm operating. They're struggling with it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the Mark III and I'll try and get across the way I know of how we can quickly and effectively find and retrieve our ferrets. So, of course, that means there is going to be a little bit of spade work, but hey ho, you are talking to the Suffolk gardener. So what we'll do, we'll crack on, we'll have a little look at how to use these ferret finders. There you go, collar's on, collar's underneath. With smaller ferrets, got thinner necks, a lot thinner necks. What we've done is we've made a load of holes in the collar so we can fit them to almost any ferret. Mine, friends, guests, any ferret will have a collar on it. It just slips over, fits the hole, and what you've got to remember is at varying times of the year these ferrets' necks, they're going to get thinner, they're going to get thicker as the ferrets are now starting to break down into season, so they get a little bit thinner. So that's what we've got to do. We just got to make sure every ferret can have a collar on that fits. We'll check them just before we put them underground, just to make sure they are working. And you just never know. Mechanical devices break down the same as blood, bone, DNA and smelly fur. So nothing is a robot, nothing is perfect, and we've got to make sure we have all avenues covered for the worst scenario. What you don't want to be doing is switching them on, or if you do switch them on and off using the magnet in your ferret finder, when you check and you've got them switched on, just don't get it too close. Because, see what I mean? I've just checked it and I've switched it off. So, make sure you do check them, but keep the magnetic switch away from the magnet. You'd be amazed how many people fall into this false security of checking, having lots of collars going, but inadvertently switching it off. Don't fall into that trap. we've had it on search to begin with, held it like that, we found out where they are, got within 8 feet, then we've put it on locate, and we're now going to pinpoint it, and they're here at about 4.5 foot, but if I move it here it goes to 6, if I move it to there it goes to 6, to there it goes to 6, and to there it goes to 6. So in the middle is where we've got the sweet spot, and that's where we've got to dig, unless the rabbit's obliging and bolt for us. Well, we've located, we've searched, we've located. I'm now going to get the spade out, and we're now going to hopefully retrieve our ferrets and have the bonus of a rabbit. And although these warrens are a little bit deeper, at least we can work with the confidence knowing that we know exactly where the ferrets are, and we have a fail-safe method of getting them out. The probe is one of the essential parts of our kit, because you get somewhere down and you can just probe like the old mole catchers do for the runs, and it gives in, so you know you're not going to be too overzealous with a spade, because sometimes you're picking a signal up and it is just a guide and they could be just to the side a little bit. So with one of these probes or T-bars we can poke about and find exactly where they are. Right, what I've got to do now is, even though I've got exceedingly large arms, I can't get to the bottom, so we're just going to take out a little slab either side, then you can get your shoulders in and your head on, and you can get another, I don't know, 8-10 inches when you're digging down. So even though I can get longer than most people, you know, I can get that little bit further and feel and pull the rabbit out and hopefully the ferret. But when you're digging, the ferrets that are used to being dug to tend to just back off, because they know that the roof's going to cave in, and they tend to go off, which is good, because then if you do cave through, because you could have a 3-foot reading, there could be an 18-inch pipe, so you've only got 18 inches before you hit the pipe. That's another reason why these probes are invaluable, and you just learn from experience, you just get the feel of it. So unless you've dug 1 or 2 holes, then you know you're going to start to feel your way about. Got the ferret. You want to box that up, Roger? Ferret out, rabbit out. Paid for itself yet again.